that game had some interesting stuff going on early in the game, but all it takes is sometimes a little wake-up call, and you guys just seem to respond. You must be pretty happy with the way the team responded early.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Jen made a big shot for 4, and I think that put a little more bounce in our step after that. So it was great that Jen came up with a big shot. She had a lot of big shots. She played great that game. So we still got to eliminate some of those bad ends, but at least we're doing it early.
Well, yeah, and I mean, that's the nature early in a round-robin competition, and all you ask for, I guess, is some continued improvement. And if you were to even compare yourself after Game 4 to Game 1, I suspect you'd see that it's trending upward.
Yeah, I certainly think that we can still eliminate some misses that we've had out there, and I think we could have adjusted to the ice a little quicker tonight. It was different tonight, so and we didn't really not that we didn't pick up on it, I just don't think we trusted it for the first little bit. So we'll just have to pay attention to those types of things too.
Is it, I mean, we asked this, I'm sure I've asked you this dozens of times, but is there ever a danger of looking too far ahead, or is it just too stacked a field where you just can't afford to do that?
Yeah, I think it's just best to stay focused on one day at a time, one game at a time, one end, and just really comes down to your process and each rock and each shot. So I think that you kind of have to stay there.
Ryan, you've curled with Brad for a few years now. You knew how he'd react and how he'd respond. What did you see today from what happened yesterday?
Exactly what I expected. Brad's playing so good right now, probably as good as I've seen him play. So a little hiccup on a missed shot, it happens to every skip out there. It sucks when it happens, but you have to roll with it.
Having said that, I mean, was it easy to put past you guys, or was it just just something that you could forget about, or did it come easy or hard?
We went out, had a couple beers last night, and shook it off. After about 6, we were feeling okay about it. So it was a good learning experience. I think we just had a little bit of lack of communication there leading into that shot. It just took too much for granted. So it's a little bit of an eye opener and something we'll learn from.
Well, and that's exactly the way to put it too. Is sometimes you need to be reminded that nothing's going to come easy, and you got to expect the unexpected on occasion. Absolutely,
especially in events like this. These events are so hard, and you really have to grind every shot. Nothing seems to come easy for anybody, so it's just a learning process, every part.
In theory, curling is a fun sport. To the outsider looking in, a lot of what goes on out there in this event in particular does not look like a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Like, obviously, it's just you're trying so hard to get the best out of yourself that sometimes you fall a little short and sometimes you succeed. It's just I think it's just the sheer determination on people's faces that you're seeing. Everyone wants to be at their best, and sometimes the pressure, you put a little bit too much pressure on yourself, so you get a few hiccups along the way.
Winning like tonight, that's fun.
Absolutely, and it's it's something we needed. Like I said, these events are hard. You start seeing the guys as they start rising to the top, and you want to be one of those teams because you still have to play all those guys. So it's been a great event so far. Like I said, we couldn't have asked for our play to be any better at this point in time, and we're 2-1 going into tomorrow. So that's all we can ask for.
Emma Miskew, that opening loss seems like a long time ago. You guys seem to have just raised your game to where it needs to be. Do you think it's where it needs to be yet?
Yeah, not quite. We're close. We're getting there. We're learning the ice every single draw, and it's a little bit different every draw, so we have to just pick up on it. But we're getting close. We're making some big shots, and the crowd's getting into it, and that's what we wanted.
Yeah, just talk about that sensation of playing with the crowd behind you. I mean, you were home province favorite, now you're hometown. What's that been like for you guys?
It's been great. We always love playing at home. People ask us if it's extra pressure, and it makes us more motivated. It's like an extra person playing for us out there. We love it. We love when they cheer. We love when they're behind us. So we're just embracing the whole moment.
When you look back on that, the first loss, can you take positives out of it in the sense that it reminds you that nothing's going to come easy and you can't take anything for granted, even though rationally you know that, but sometimes you got to experience that?
Yeah, I don't think we thought that. I think that Chelsea played really well, and we were still learning the ice, and I'm not sure she missed any shots. So it's really hard to beat a skip playing 100% when we're just not quite on our game, and I think we've picked up our game since then. We learned a lot from the first game, and we're getting better.
And now I imagine the anticipation level as each game gets by just gets a little bit higher. But the fortunate thing is you guys have been down this road a few times, so I don't imagine it's going to phase you.
Yeah, we've been backs against the wall in the past, and I'm glad that we're not quite in that situation yet. So we're hoping we're going game by game. We're trying to get the most out of every game, and we know we're not going to win them all. And the first one was an example of that. So we just want to make it in the playoffs at the end of the week.
Okay, I mean, you can't ask for anything more out of these games. Caught a break or two along the way, but on the other hand, I mean, you've been around long enough to know those even out, and you guys have been on both sides of that coin. But you also take advantage of the breaks. That's the big thing.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of them this week already. So, we're going to have to play a little bit better than that. I don't think we can expect those breaks all week. But, like you said, we got them and we took advantage of them. And so far, it might not be the best we've played, but we're 4-0.
Yeah, so what needs to improve in your mind?
Oh, just a little bit of execution. There's some different rocks out there and ice, maybe catching on it a bit early. We got tricked here a bit in the first 3 ends and got us down, and we're not going to win every game down 4-1 after 4 ends. So just a little bit on the execution side, but hey, we'll take it. We're in a good spot. We're right where we want to be.
And this is a team that has a well-earned reputation that if you put them in a position, they're just going to get better and better. And I guess it's still up to you to go out and follow through on that, but you must have some comfort level knowing that there's potentially the best is yet to come.
Yeah, I think that is the peace of mind, is knowing we still have better in us, and hopefully we can find it for later in the week. But, our experience is helping out. We're not giving up at all. We're not getting frustrated. We're hanging in there. We've seen funny stuff at trials before, and just hopefully we can play a little bit better. We got some big games coming up, and put ourselves in a good position for the weekend, hopefully.
It's fun. I asked Fry this earlier, asking about, curling is supposed to be a fun sport, and you've had tons of fun playing this sport, but this is not necessarily a real fun event from some perspectives. I mean, it's just a different animal than a Brier or even a World.
Yeah, it is, but I'll tell you what, it depends on your own frame of mind. I think you can come out here and pretend like it's, not pretend, but act like it's the biggest event in curling and have all this pressure on you, and then it's no fun. Or you can come out and enjoy it and sometimes realize that people would give anything in the world to be competing at this level. And I think if you look around sometimes and smell the roses, you can have a little bit more fun, because you hate leaving this event thinking and having nothing but regrets for the way you approached it. So, that's a personal choice on whether you have fun or not. But yeah, it's a pressure-packed, stressful event, no doubt.